I'm Carlos Carlitos Alcaraz's first coach from when he was 5 to 12 years old.
My name is Sylvester Black, Sly Black tennis name. I had the ability to develop at least 12 girls turn into world junior champion. And I put a racket in their hand and I start them from 0 to basically 100.
Right, I'm Michał Kazanowski and I work with #1 in the world, Iga Świątek, for almost 6 years.
My name's Justin Sherring. I've been a tennis coach now for about 35 years, learning the trade as we go along, more or less working with top players for the last sort of 20, 25 years, really specializing in working with young, aspiring tennis enthusiasts and turning them into and helping them make their dreams come true.
I coached college tennis for 32 years, and I think a great goal for every junior player, no matter where they are in the world, should be to play college tennis. The dream, I know for all of us, is to be #1 in the world, to be a successful professional tennis player. But a great attainable goal is to play college tennis. The millions and millions of dollars that is put into college athletics and college tennis is literally incredible.
I've developed a coaching philosophy over the last 20 years and I think it's really set now. The first thing is you have to understand the game as a coach at the highest level. So not just the highest level of Pro Tour, but you have to know the highest level at 14, at 16 and 18. So myself, I try to watch a lot of tennis at the highest level. When you're developing a play, it's like building a house over a long period of time. You have to know what the end result is going to look like to be able to build that player.
When I have a foreigner or an international player come to the States and see the facilities, see the training, see everything that goes into college tennis, they are very wide-eyed and cannot believe the quality and depth of college tennis.
You want to hit that ball cross. So that hip is like if I'm pushing that hip like here, like this. Yes. Do it. Boom. Too much movement. I want this hip like this. You see that's too much movement for how fast that ball is coming. You're gonna swing, so you're gonna swing and the hip is follow. Just this hip, like this. Hi, I'm Diego Moyano. I'm a former ITP player. My best ranking was 130 in the world and 140 in doubles. I transitioned to coaching at the age of 31. I've been coaching so many top 100, top 20, top 10 players, and I've been working over 10 years at the USTA as a lead national coach.
And then the real key is once you get around it is to step back in, drive it, get it inside out. We're trying to accomplish a good angle here to pull our opponent out in the alley, which will open the whole court for a winner. Learn to go inside out, inside in, and you're gonna develop this weapon. My name is Fritz. I was a player, but a good college player, played a little bit on the tour. I started with my son, Taylor Fritz, at 2 years old. Coached him till he was 18, still involved in a lot of aspects of his game. Another one of my students was Coco Gauff. I started her when she was 9 years old. She got up to top 10 in the world. She won the US Open doubles. And today, we're gonna try to learn some of those techniques and see if we can make you a better player.
On this leg. Go again, do it. So do the setup and get into that position and freeze it. Right? And then, as long as you got that, that's all you think about, finish your shot. Here we go, ready, and go. Sit, hit, good. My name is Adriano Fortevilla. I've been coaching for just over 25 years right now. You're hitting and you're elbowing. Your elbow's gonna come through the shot, just to make sure it's like you're punching me in the face with your elbow. That makes sense? Show me, but don't hit me in the face. I've been known as the developmental coach for Denis Shapovalov, career high number 10 on the ATP rankings. I've gotten many players into the top 100 in the ITF junior rankings. Known for working with athletes from around the age of 13 and getting them into the international side of tennis. Okay, Danny, you're just gonna be super intense. You're gonna be hitting it about 75% of your power. Let's go. Ready, position.
You missed the volley, but the volley was on your strings. You were able to get it. So you're now covering a large majority of the court. The one thing we didn't talk about is, just to add to this, is you've hit an aggressive ball to their forehand. Now they've hit a short shot. Everybody who plays tennis, as soon as you hit a short shot, your natural instinct, you know they're stepping in to hit a ball, is to back up a little, because you know they're stepping in, they've got a short ball. So what does it take to become a successful professional tennis player? In my view, there is no one single road / blueprint. There are some fundamentals that are extremely important, but I don't think there's only one road to becoming a successful pro.
It all comes down to practice. I think you have to practice a lot. If you have the advantage of having a coach, or you have somebody a parent who can serve at you, I don't think players practice their return a lot. Hi, my name is Michael Joyce, and I'm 50 years old, and I've been around tennis for 45 years. I was a player on tour for 10 years. I got to 60 in the world, and then when I was 28 years old, I went into coaching, and now I've been coaching for 22 years. I've worked with players like Maria Sharapova, Jessica Pegula, Vika Azarenka, Sonia Cannon. I've worked with a lot of top players on the women's tour, and I've really felt like I've worked with them a lot during their development stages, and I helped them develop from a good player into, in some cases, a top 5 player.
Carlos was a player who was very competitive. I mean, even in training sessions. Many times you had to be careful about how to manage that frustration if he lost a point or not, and that's where I had to guide him. I mean, let's see what happens when he loses. That the racket, well, that he wouldn't hit it, that he wouldn't throw the ball up into the sky. In the end, you had to keep guiding him with that, but he was a player who, with hard work and that winning mentality, had everything we needed.
So, shoulders and legs give you the power. Let's have a look at his legs. That's right. So let's have a look at the shoulders again. You see how he's drawing his shoulder back? His front shoulder's higher. And let's look at that back leg, how it drives up.
I guess my coach philosophy is really that the game is a response to, I guess, the tactics and the psychology. That every time you do something, you're always going to see, think, do, evaluate. So if you have those 4 things in place all the time, then you're always going to be able to teach and move forward. So I don't teach a stroke for the sake of teaching a stroke. I try and always have that involved with an outcome that stroke's going to try and achieve.
I'm Michał Kazanowski, and I work with #1 in the world, Iga Świątek, for almost 6 years.
I want to push her from the comfort in the backhand to make it more confident, to improve it, to push her to hit it faster in the ending, faster, shorter move and faster in the end. Good.
When I was coaching Jessica Pegula, partly because of her size, she's not that tall, she's about 5'7", and her flatter backhand, she struggled a little bit with taking the return too far behind the baseline, especially off of a kick serve. Now remember, when your opponent is hitting a kick serve, the ball's gonna bounce, it's gonna jump and try to pull you off the court. So you basically have 2 ways to return the serve. It's either you gotta take it super early before it gets too high, or you gotta go way back, let it drop, and then hit. Again, it depends what type of player you are, what you're looking to do, but with Jessie, it was really important that she didn't get too far back because all of her power was nullified when she was too far behind the court.
So I worked with Joe Salisbury from the age of sort of 6 years old up until now, that's 25 years and counting, and Jack Draper from the age of 5 until 16. What we'd see there is when you stepped up, you stepped out and you just stopped on contact and sort of blocked, and you lost the momentum that you needed, that you required. The ball is going pretty quickly to start with, but as it touches the surface, it sort of slows down a bit. And then what we're trying to do is add a bit of momentum, but add a bit of safe momentum.
Welcome to Coach Life, where tennis isn't just a game, it's a relentless pursuit. The coaches here aren't the ones looking for fame. They're the ones who forged champions in the shadows. They are the junior coaches, the quiet achievers who crafted the legends of today. Players like Iga Świątek, Coco Gauff, and Taylor Fritz. These are the coaches who know the grind, the discipline, and the passion it takes to go from a kid with potential to a world-class athlete.
You need a great environment. You need that environment that where players can hit up, they can hit down, they have the right amount of training volume, they have the right courts, they can play enough tournaments, etc. You need a great environment. I believe you need to coach the individual as an individual. I'm not a big believer in so much generic training, everyone is doing the same thing. I really think there has to be a little bit of that, but I really tried to coach my players very individually over the journey, particularly in juniors.
To me, the art of coaching is when you understand the person that you're coaching. Everybody is different, they have different needs, they develop at different times in their life. A lot of guys will be fully grown at 15. Other people, like Taylor, not till 18, 19. I didn't stop growing until I was 21. So everybody's different, and you have to try not to teach everybody exactly the same way. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. So that's what I think the art of coaching is getting to know your player and figuring out what kind of play best suits them.
My name is Glenn Weiner, former ATP player and coach of Kei Nishikori. I was a pro for 12 years on the tour, reaching a career high of 119. Good cover. So as you're seeing, she's covering a lot of ground on the cross-court side. Yes, perfect. I became a coach at IMG and started working as a touring coach, traveling with all the top young pros and top juniors. You go to the tournaments with these kids or these pros and you kind of watch what they do under pressure. Because obviously in practice, it might look good, but then it breaks down under pressure. So that would be the key for me.
I've had the privilege of coaching some of the best juniors and some of the best professional tennis players in the world, such as Sloane Stephens and Coco Gauff.
Coco, you are the embodiment of a true American champion, and congratulations on winning your first Grand Slam title.
I was called by my ex-wife. She told me I needed to come and look at this girl. She's a very talented tennis player. I took a look at her. You know, wasn't nothing special. I've seen a lot of 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds, but she wasn't special then. But she had something that I like. The love hit away from him. Ready? After the lesson, you know, there was nothing special there. You know, everything that she had, I would have to do a lot of work to get her going. And then I asked Coco, what do you want to be, little girl? You know, I remember I said that to her, and she said, I want to be the best in the world. If you can give me 3 years with Corey, 3 years, I can turn your daughter into one of the best players in the US.
I coached Francis Tiafoe for 10 years, and there were a lot of days and times when he was lazy and he wasn't pushing himself, but I was pushing him to get the most out of him, and we were able to get a really good job done. However, what he had was a hunger and a desire to compete, and he wanted it badly. So when we went to tournaments, that transitioned. Me feeding balls, me pushing him, that transition, I was able to give him the tools, forehands, backhands, ground strokes, weapons, and those tools in a combination with hunger, desire, and work ethic, that's what took him to the top.
I think it's really important to understand that as a coach, it's highly unlikely you're going to be coaching a player for their entire junior career and then all the way onto the tour and continue with them on tour. You know, when I coached Nick Kyrgios for 7 years, and at 17, it was the perfect time for him to move on. He was invited by Tennis Australia to move on to the next stage of their development pathway, which at the time was at the Australian Institute of Sport. So without a doubt, that was the best thing for him. He was moving on to a better environment, better practice partners, more funding. Doesn't matter how long you are with a player, you can still have a really positive influence on that player, even if it's for a short time or a really long time.
As a coach, you've got to be able to create that cooperative training environment, because you can't get better unless you hit the balls more often. And if someone just wants to hit a winner against the other person every single time, then no one gets any practice. So it's getting the kids to understand that, well, hey, you just missed out on hitting 2 or 3 other shots that you wanted to get better at. So I think you're born with a degree of competitiveness, but it's nurtured by the family environment. They have to believe they're in charge. So, you know, you always create an environment of ownership and responsibility, and they're in charge.
Fritz on the take back. All right, so lower, perfect. So you see that your trunk is a little bit like this? I want the trunk here. That's where you see a little bit better rotation. This is, you look at the ball over your shoulder, all right? So now the core from here to here is the big muscle are holding you in this position, all right? So now I want to, ready? I coach player like Tommy Paul, Riley Opelka, Francis Tiafoe, Taylor Fritz, Ryan Harrison, Dennis Kudla, Robbie Ginepri, Guillermo Coria, Kevin Anderson, Sloane Stephens, and recently Coco Gauff. There's 8 or 9 points that are very important on my coaching philosophy. The first one, number 1 on the list for sure by far, is the respect. So everything has to be respect, from me to the players or to the team, and from the player or the team to me.
So you understand that the purpose of being able to get out of extreme discomfort. And did you feel that? Did you feel it physically? Where did you feel it physically? A lot of the lesson is actually sparking up and really sharing with him and showing with him that you believe in what he has an inkling of, because he doesn't really know what he wants at that stage. And that's why a lot of the teaching right there is sort of large brush strokes, nothing too fine detail and specific. I mean, obviously he's got quite a nice game, so we are talking, you know, potential for sort of high potential at a high performance level, but we're talking broad strokes, because at any stage he could say, nope, I'm out, Dad, I want to play football, I want to do something else, and that's the end of it. So you're still very much inspiring and sparking up and growing those sparks into some bigger flames, and also you're creating some trust in the relationship, trust in the environment that he can share his dreams with you.
Look, your shots depend on where the ball is in tennis. Sometimes you have to play defense to get to offense. Sometimes you can move up into the court. Sometimes you have to move back in the court. Your game, developing it for college tennis, is very different than junior tennis. When you get to college, you're going to see kids from all over the world playing very different styles. So when I have a young player, I'm always training them for the next step. When kids are young, obviously the most important thing in tennis is consistency. Always, really, no matter what level you're playing, rule number 1 is get the ball in, of course. But in college tennis, you have to have a big variety in your game.
What it takes to be a top 100, top 50, top 30 player. I mean, once you get it into that, you know, category, let's say men or women, it's so small. You could win a match 6-4, 6-3, and it could be 1 or 2 points. It's small things, and it's small things during pressure situations. Once the player can find their identity, or once they know, I got to play a certain way against this type of player, I got to play a certain way, I feel like their confidence grows. I feel like under pressure situations, they're more aware of what they need to do. I like to focus on the process more than the results. I like to, you know, which is easier said than done. All of that's there, but at the same time, I feel like that keeps the train kind of going.
Coach Life is the most incredible tennis platform I've seen to date. My students often go on Instagram and they see all these things on Instagram and stuff like that, but the problem I've got is it's not from the world's most proven developmental coaches. Coach Life consists of the world's most proven developmental coaches. You've got Francis Tiafoe's junior coach, Misha Kuznetsov. You've got Jack Draper's junior coaches. You've got people like Michael Joyce that are phenomenal former players. They've developed, you know, some of the world's best players. Coach life would have made me a better player had it existed back when I was a junior player.
I want to push her from the comfort in the backhand to make it more confident, to improve it, to push her to hit it faster in the ending, faster, shorter move and faster in the end. Good. Tosia, she's now in top 5 place in Poland in age of under 12. She's progressing so quick, but as everyone, she has her demons to work with, and we'll see. We need to support our weaker arm by legs. We need to do this because in other way, it's so hard to hit. So you need to use legs. It was the same with Iga. A lot of people were saying that she has potential, but what we needed to do was the hard work every day, not thinking about potential.
So I've been around a long time and being in the industry, and it's not that often that a kid walks onto the court and you go, 100%, this kid's going to make it. 100%, I have no doubt. And I remember working with Jelena Dokic, and she walked onto the court and I said, look, I've got this cool thing, this little reaction ball. And it's a great thing to work on your split step and your reaction. And I remember her looking me in the eyes and going, what's the record? And I said, 25 without a miss. 40 minutes later, we start the lesson. She, let's go again. Let's go again. Let's go again. I never forget it. And I remember meeting that girl. She had that eye of the tiger, and I said, that girl is going to make it just because she does things like that. That's how she thinks. She didn't think, she was 12, she didn't think like a 12-year-old. So I never forget that. It was a really great story about someone who you just go, you know what, I'm putting my money on that girl.
I mean, even with Jessie at a young age, I knew pretty quick what kind of player she needed to be. I mean, just based on her body type, her speed. I mean, she has incredible eye-hand coordination. She's not the fastest girl, she's not the best athlete, but her striking of the ball, eye-hand coordination, ball, that stuff she does really good. So I like to take what a player has naturally, or what they have when I get them, and you gotta focus on that and then improve the weaknesses little by little.
Match points.
I knew Denis from a very, very young age. We went through all of juniors, from 0 national titles, 0 ITF ranking, to national champion. He became the #2 junior in the world, most notably winning Junior Wimbledon at the age of 17. And, 2 weeks later, beating Nick Kyrgios, in our tournament at home. Did I know or think that he was going to be a top pro right at the beginning? I'm going to be honest and say no. Many players are talented. I'm not a believer of the whole talent thing and it's going to work out that way. Beginning of their career, they could be 9, 10 years old, let's say. You might not be able to get to the best. You might not have the resources for the best. But I think it's super important to gain knowledge from the best, and I aim for the top. And I'm here to share some of my knowledge.
Whether or not the player already mastered the ability, range of motion, freedom, and timing, we will still do this exercise every single day. So, for example, somebody like Corey, for the first 10-15 minutes of warm-up, we would do a drill where she counts every time she hits the tennis ball. 1, the connection of the ball and the word that's coming out of their mouth. 2, so that's the freedom with the range of motion. Then we're going to try and see if we can time the ball, counting and making connection with the ball at the same time. Okay? And this also tells me how well she's breathing. Very, very important. It will tell me how well she's breathing, if she's breathing correctly anyway too. Ready? As a development coach, I was very fortunate to learn a lot from Rick Macy, Secondly, a lot from Nick Bollettieri. And thirdly, a lot from Richard Williams. These are three of the most successful tennis coaches in the history of the game of tennis. So as a tennis coach, you know, why not learn from the best to become the best? You know?
I'm Gary Stickler, an Australian tennis coach. Been involved with a number of players, including John Millman, Pat Rafter and Jason Kubler. The game itself is about the psychology and tactics of the sport, and then what are the processes I have to put in place, what are the strokes I need to develop, and how am I going to use those to get these outcomes.
You can notice that Kobe and Manny are really moving each other around, up and down the court, so they've got to adjust. They've also got to read the flight of the ball. They've got to play a confident half volley that controls the ball to where they want it to go. And if it's in a difficult position, they've got to change their grip and improvise with the stroke to be able to do it. This is a drill done by Pat Rafter, and he did it regularly to help him when he got caught on his way to the net with the ball at his feet.
Obviously, you've got technical fundamentals which have got to be adhered to as much as possible, but then you've got the person's own individual style, and they're two different things.
We need to work as much as we need to work. We need to do that extra mile or 1,000 extra miles to get it done. We have to do it. Not only me, the players. I cannot ask any player something that I am not able to do it. If we want to achieve something and we have goals, me and the players, we are on the same boat. It's your career, it's your tennis. I'm gonna help you, and both we're gonna achieve those goals.
We did angles for about 3-4 years, almost every day. Then for 2 years, we did weapons. Then another 2 years, we served. We served every single day at 7 in the morning. I picked them up early. We went to the tennis court. Before everybody got there at 8, we were already serving for an hour.
Think of it like developing a boxer that you'd like to be able to have knockout power. Sometimes they're going to miss their target. Sometimes they're going to shank and miss the pads. But you've got to be brave enough to produce that kind of explosive power in the first place, just to be brave enough to have a go. And the wonderful thing about boxing is that the more you really try and land the big punch, the more vulnerable you are yourself to getting knocked out. So the more these guys are taking the ball on, the more they're sort of questioning me as a coach, sort of saying, well, what if I miss? What if I don't make that ball in court? I say, just keep hitting it. Keep going for it. We'll teach you the science behind how to control ball flight, how to control trajectory, how to understand margins, how to understand risk management, which balls to go for at certain stages. But the bottom line is, this court is getting smaller. Supreme athletes are making the court look smaller. They're covering the court better. So when you hit the ball and you think you've hit a winner, you probably haven't. Against Novak, against Carlos. What's the game going to be like in the next 10 years? I'm trying to future-proof these young players, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, to actually be better than Jack Draper, to be better than Joe Salisbury.
This was Taylor Fritz's favorite drill because he was very competitive, and you want to try to make all these drills competitive as you can. He wanted to show those other two guys that he could last longer over there, that he was a steadier player. So I love to do this drill with Taylor because he works so hard at it. Okay, we're going to work on going up and back from this high ball. This is a good drill for you kids out there, the beginners, the intermediates, to work up and back. I'm just going to give him a high ball. The next one's going to be short. He's got to go back for the high one. So we'll do 6 balls and we'll see how he does. Here we go. Good footwork. Now he's got to get back quickly. If you can make it fun for him, by the time they get a little better to start playing the tournaments, like Taylor really loved to go to the tournaments because he would see his friends. He wanted to go down there and enjoy himself with his friends. So he looked forward to going to tournaments every weekend. But the parents get involved. They a lot of times don't know anything about tennis. They put too much pressure on the kids. You can't talk about rankings and being a pro, and it's not good. Always stay positive, just encourage your child, let him develop. Even though I started Taylor Fritz at 2 years old, a lot of people said that was too early. It was okay because we didn't play that much. Get them introduced to it, get them seeing the ball. And so you don't really have to start your child at 2 or 3 years old. It's okay to start a little bit later. The main thing is it has to be fun. If it's not fun for them, they're not going to stay in the game.
Time is your most valuable resource, and when you're trying to get better at a skill, you're trying to improve as quickly as possible. Yes, you could go on the internet and find videos from random coaches, and you probably could learn a lot. It's just going to take you forever, and that's why I like Coach Life, because we have all the best coaches in the world, including coaches who have skills in my blind spots like footwork or strength and conditioning, and I can go on that one platform and learn from other great coaches. I've gotten so many great drills from friends like Michael Joyce on the platform that I had never heard of. So it's a great way to get all the information in one place, and again, saving your time. The goal is to improve as quickly as possible. So whether you're a player, parent, or coach, and you're trying to get better at everything, whether that's strength and conditioning, footwork, technique, strategy, we have it all in one place at Coach Life. So visit those videos if you're looking to improve your game as quickly as possible.
Where do you put that ball so that you're at least 50-50 when the rally continues?
Always looking to obviously keep the opponent moving, and depending on where they are, we sort of looking for the low slice down the line to keep them running on the move, so that you can hopefully get back to 50-50 and maybe gain a bit of breath back and start the rally again, really.
Fellas, if you want to chase Joe, you're going to have to put 5 miles an hour on that serve. Let's try and squeeze a bit more out of it. But again, I've got to balance that off with being the bit of the smiling assassin. Hey guys, let's go and have fun. Let's go and really enjoy our tennis. But you're going to have to smash some winners. You're going to have to be brave. You're going to have to put that ball away. You're going to have to become a killer.
I'm Jeff Druck. I grew up playing tennis in Florida. I worked with many players, most notably Coco Gauff from the age of 7 to 14. I have great focus on both strength and conditioning, and I'm very well known for making footwork specific for tennis more efficient. Oftentimes you'll see players with this foot having this foot behind this one, and then your feet become tangled. See, she has good clearance on this leg, so it's now easy for her to get back to the middle with a strong crossover. So go ahead, now at this point, crossover back to the middle. Awesome, that's a great crossover. I'll find oftentimes people are doing pressing movements, not doing pulling movements, just as an example, or lunges for quadriceps, but neglecting the hamstrings. You have to have a complete package to have the stability to perform best.
What we're gonna go is same thing. So now you're not gonna toss, and you're gonna, when you carry the leg, you're gonna freeze, and you're gonna try not to touch my hands. Okay. All right? Yes, freeze. Exactly. Perfect. Or stay there again. So now freeze there. So we are in a good spot. So I want that exactly. I want that stretch. I want a little bit more the leg. I want the right hip a little bit more turn. Excellent. Yes. So now I want all the weight on the back leg. You have to be process oriented. Doesn't matter the age. To achieve something, you need to buy into the process, and you need the players to buy into that process.
We've seen different people reaching, a professional level from different areas of the world, whether it's in group settings, private settings, at academies, or with federations. I do think, though, there are a lot of important steps that, for the most part, cannot be skipped. To make it as a pro, for me, is about consistency in all of the levels and areas that it takes to become a pro. So, technique, having consistent / great technique. Fitness, being consistent with your fitness and getting in great shape with your speed, agility, power. Making sure you're taking care of your body, whether it's through nutrition or through, stretching or band work. Whatever it takes for those prehab exercises, you want to be as consistent as you can in all of these areas.
If you ask my opinion, what's the most important thing to being successful in tennis? It's staying injury-free. I think a lot of people look at fitness as, say, something they have to do. You should enjoy your fitness actually more than hitting the tennis balls. And if you can do that, you're going to be great. Everyone has a signature move. So I don't like to call myself a footwork trainer. I like to call myself a footwork choreographer, because you have to choreograph what works for that individual player, what works for their athletic ability, what works with their age, what they like. So that's really important. So sometimes part of my job is to tell them what they did really well, instead of what they have to do. Ready, read, react, respond, recover. And whenever you look at footwork, you want to make sure you look at those 5 things. And when you put those 5 things together, it's called completing the circle. And you need to complete the circle on every ball.
Well, the serve is the only stroke in tennis where you make the decisions. You toss it when you want, you toss it where you want, so that toss is extremely important. I always say the toss leads you on your serve. But this is momentum, this is timing back here. When you want to go into your power is when your knees bend and your arm bends. Then it's go time. From there, it's up into the ball and trying to impact as much speed and spin on the ball as possible. When your coach tells you how he or she wants you to play, you have to be able and ready to do that. So being consistent is important. Then the next level in tennis is probably power. Then the next level is taking the ball early. Then the next level is, forcing your opponent to come up with great shots by coming to the net. All of those things are so important to college tennis. I really think a very successful tennis player is also a complete person, right? And traditional school can bring that out. I think a big reminder for a lot of the parents is do not fit the path to your child. We spend a lot of time making that path the best it can be for their child, okay? Make the child fit to the path also. So remember those. Don't fit the path to the child, have the child fit to the path, because that's what's gonna happen when they go to the next level and play college tennis or play professional tennis.
I really like this serving game, and we did this game with Nick Kyrgios and the group of players I was coaching through that period. Rather than just serving at a target, it's much more fun, it's competitive, and it really shows you as a player which serves, which corners you really struggle to, and which corners you're good at. So my 3 things are you really have to know the game, number 1, at the highest level, in juniors and in pro. The second thing is you really need to create a great training environment for your players. And the third thing is really have to coach the individual.
Iga physically was quite tall, quite strong, and we spent a lot of time playing rallies, playing together, playing with spin. When I spin hard, she tried to spin harder. When I hit hard, she tried to hit harder. I was always playing with her, and what I realized, she started behaving like in the mirror. When I was doing steps, she was doing steps. So I decided to create the background for her subconscious, that I gonna play with her. I gonna play with her with the spin, with the low legs, with steps, preparation steps. In the very beginning, we need to focus just on the legs workout during the shot. So she's gonna drop down with the ball and go up to the shot. And this is the only one task she's gonna do. Down, up. Drop down, down, up. Good. Very important is for a player to feel that the hips are under the ball all the time.
The best advice I can give young coaches who want to work with elite junior players is do it, because we don't have enough passionate coaches who really want to work in high performance. We need more in Australia for sure. So go out, have a crack, find mentors, talk to as many successful coaches as you can, and learn as quickly as you can. But also the biggest thing is don't be afraid to try things. and work on things with your player and work on technical aspects and make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you will make mistakes, but then you will learn and you will get better.
Hi everyone. We always look for ways to improve our games. I have come across an interesting platform for that. Coach Life is an excellent platform for learning. For junior players and parents, you can find a lot of great videos and information. Just check this out.
All right, we're gonna start off. You can use any type of a bench, a sturdy chair to put your heels on top of this. Oftentimes people will focus on tons of different quadricep exercises, which are fantastic for having stability, bending, getting nice and low, but neglect the hamstring exercises, which to me is your speed muscle, adds to further enhanced stability, and you've got to balance that out and protect your knees. So first exercise we're gonna do, you're gonna lie down, is hip ups with heels on the bench. With Coco, what I'm absolutely most proud of is the fact that she stayed injury-free from she was little. She never had an injury, which is a very, very big thing for me. That's what I stress on all my players, staying injury-free and strong, along with having efficient footwork. And this is great for hip strength, just completely keep you balanced, keep any undue pressure off your back, and keep everything very strong, stable. Your first movement when you're doing anything is from your hip. So those have got to be strong. Bodyweight training can be quite intensive. It's all about staying injury-free, and then strength comes at that point.
What I'm seeing from behind is that you are making contact on the left side of the ball. So a lot of your serves are coming here, kind of on that left side. So you would get it back forehand, you would try to open up that court, look for the short ball, approach, step in and come hit that volley nice and short.
So we're going to show you a serve drill that we did with Francis. That's the one I talked about earlier that we did at 7 a.m. We pretty much did this every day. So what we did is we serve down the tee between two targets. The most important is hit hard, fast. Of course, the technique needs to be right, legs are into it, hips are there, but the ball needs to hit the floor, inside the box, and hit the fence on one bounce, okay? That's about 90 to 100 miles an hour.
I remember working with Monica Seles. I worked with 10 days at her house. What an honor that was to work with her. What an amazing, here's the interesting thing. She was so soft. Hi Dave, how are you going? So nice to meet you. So she was soft, she was speaking like this. And then I remember saying, okay, you ready? And she started to do this. And her eyes turned back, and she became this beautiful little soft angel into this incredible beast. She'd go, and then she'd finish going, and she'd look at me, and I went, whoa, mate. Wow, I have never in my whole life ever seen anyone shadow like that. And it was incredible because I didn't have to say anything. I'm just pointing. She said, please make sure you don't tell me anything. I need to motivate myself. It was incredible. I've never seen, and she could actually see in her eyes that she was playing a match. So it was incredible. That was the one thing I took away from her, is her self-motivation, her self-discipline, and her visualization. It was incredible.
We work hard. We work harder than everybody else. So it's just a matter of just instilling, like, we're here to work, we'll do more, we'll keep doing more. I'm a big no excuse guy. No matter what happens, and things happen, but we have to be there and ready to take on anything. I try to make sure that they're able to be pushed and they want to be pushed. Nope. Right back, baseline. My point. That they find being pushed exciting versus like someone's just being tough on them. So like embracing it. Come on. 4. You gotta love the sport. If you can't, it's not a job. I get to do this every single day. And I love what I do, and it's tough, and I love pushing myself. So just very, very some of the basics that I think will just allow them to just enjoy what they do and become better, stronger. No excuses, no whining, no complaining. Take everything that comes at you and find solutions.
Opposite arm is a leading arm on a backhand. You can even see sometimes now Iga's playing practices. She's using the left arm to playing the left arm forehand. Go down by legs and use the opposite arm. Players actually don't need to understand everything from A to Z. They need to more or less understand and then just improving, and then it happens on the match or not. It happens in the game or not. Not pushing too much to let it happen. No, then you're not relaxed. If you're not relaxed, you're not playing well.
What I would use to create a champion, I'll first identify the individual. After I identify the individual, I'll then take them on the court for an hour or two and see what they're good at and what they're bad at. So I look at both areas and look where both of us can meet in the middle, where the coaching and plus the kid styling. Feet, follow through. Ready again from a turn, racket. Feet, follow through. Good girl, ready again. Ready, go. Forward, whip. Good. Back, ready, turn. Feet.
I don't believe that you can build a player or a player's confidence lying to the player when something is not clear. At some point the player is going to realize. It doesn't matter the age. The kids are they're going to understand. They're pretty smart, and same with the pro. So you have to understand what is the manners that you're going to use, the vocabulary that you're going to use, how you're going to deal with certain situations, but it has to be through the truth. Good. Find the step in. Good. Split. Go. Find it. Yes. Split. Go. Perfect. Split. Go. That's awesome. Remember, normally you have more time that you think you have. So your perception is sometimes you get into and then when you stop and you stop moving. No, go into the motion. Let it go. Go into the motion. Let your body go there. Get behind.
A lot of people, they go straight to the weaknesses and then they forget actually what they actually do well. I think that's what I've had the most success with the players. Obviously you want to work on different aspects, but make your strengths as good as they can be. I knew once Jessie could start moving in more, take the ball earlier, the way she hit the ball, her volley, I knew once she got that, which took time, but once she got that, she was going to be really good, and she's showing it now.
Parents want to move their child up. They want to move him up an age group. Let him win wherever he is. Let him get some confidence. If they'd ever learn how to win at a certain stage, they're never going to develop. So just think about the end product, what you want your child to be at 16, 17 when he's going to go to college, and after that if he makes the pro. Don't worry about all the wins and losses in the juniors. Don't put that pressure on your kids. It's not healthy, it's not going to help them.
1, you have to learn the technical formation. 2, you're going to have to learn the mental aspect part of the game. 3, you're going to have to develop a physical aspect part of the game, especially if you're a men's tennis player. 4, you're going to have court awareness, sense awareness. You're going to have to have awareness. 5 is the ability to time. So you could learn all 4 of those first ones, but without no timing, everything else goes down the drain, because this concept becomes, a part of what basically the main core of what the foundation of a philosophy is for the game of tennis.
You have long-term outcome goals, but you need to have performance goals in order to reach those eventual long-term goals. And in order to get those performance goals and long-term goals, you need to have process goals, the stuff that you're working on every single day, so that when you're losing or when you're not performing, you're not going why, you're looking at the process goals going, we need to keep doing this or adjust it in this way so that we see those long-term outcomes.
You can show parents, coaches, players, how that learning process has been, what that stage of development was like, the stage of development that not everyone knows about. We see the player up there and it seems like they've played tennis their whole life, that they play so well, but no, there have been many hours of training, many balls hit, many hours of trying on the court or struggling. Well, to do a drop shot, it's important, as we've said, to have agility with your hand, but also a lot of leg adjustments. So in this exercise, I used to do with Carlitos, one player stands here and another one over there in front, and now we have different targets, as you can see, with 4 hoops. So what we have to do is we can hit whichever hoop we want. I can hit the yellow one, I can hit it parallel, and the opponent can do the same. What this does is keep us constantly adjusting to one spot or another. And as we've always said, everything is done with points, everything is gamified. These kids always need to feel like they're competing. So all that process, all those shots we're going to show, the slide, the forehand, the backhand, you'll be able to find all of that in these videos and see what Carlitos was really like. I mean, what this kid was like who became the youngest #1 player in history.
A lot of the players in lower programs will ask you what they do next, and you say to them, well, why don't you tell me what you're going to do next? Let them create a drill on court, and when it doesn't succeed, talk about how you're going to modify it. Have the courage to do the things you don't like doing. All of those things are what makes people become good at what they do.
Maria Sharapova, she didn't like the feeling of hitting a high ball over net with spin. She thought that was turning her into a pusher or she was playing too defensive. So what I would do with her a lot of times is I'd put the stick at a height that she liked, like a normal drive here. And obviously if she's trying to hit this can, it makes a lot of noise. She's trying to hit it as hard as she can, hit the top of the can. She knows if she comes near the target, she knows where it's gonna land. It's gonna be a great shot. And so after doing a bunch of these, then I'd put it up higher. And even if she hit the same ball up here, obviously the ball's probably gonna go in the fence. So now trying to hit this target with the same racket speed and the same offensive mentality, after a few balls, she's gonna start to add a little bit of spin. So now not only is she hitting spin, she's hitting deeper, but her stroke is the same.
When you're looking for a sparring partner, for someone to assist you in the training, you're looking, or you want to play the sparring, you always want to play with someone better than you, because it creates the nice background. There's someone better, there's someone hitting harder, so I need to improve my level to catch him. So I decided to be like the sparring partner in kind of exercises. So I was trying to play a bit better than her, pushing, running a lot, and sometimes, you know, running with and playing with the great technique to watch. And then I believe that the subconscious is learning then, because the background is like that.
So I knew Corey had it in her head before she came to the court with me. So it's from maybe something that she and her dad talked about before and made the plan, is she had a wrong grip, no shoulder turn sideways, but she was already hitting the ball very hard already in her mind. So what I knew is she's already done 50% of the work already. All I needed to do is just help her to create some sort of formation, create the right grip in her hand, and give herself a possible chance to have the smoothest serve as possible in order to become a good server. So as a coach, you need to know the game evolves. So if you're not ready to evolve with the game of tennis, you should never be a development tennis coach, because in 5-6 years, the game will evolve again. So there's a likely chance what you're doing at the moment will be wrong. Eventually, 7 years from now, you have to reteach your kids all over again. So don't be afraid to get information, because the game will evolve, and then 10-15 years from now, you will be left behind if you do not evolve with the game of tennis. It's evolution, it's just what it is. So don't be afraid to watch and learn.
If you're playing every day you've got to take a day off. You got to get away from tennis at least a day. You got to listen to your body. Sometimes you might want to take 2 days off. When you're young, you don't want these stress fractures. I've seen too many good players that would have been good, but their bodies broke down. Taylor would always take at least 1 day off, and when he's on the court, it was either Coco or Taylor, I wanted full intensity. It wasn't about how many hours they played, it was how well they could concentrate for a period of time. And that takes practice, where you don't have these distractions coming in. You're not thinking about your cell phone or what you're going to eat that night. You don't want to have that. You're focused, you're intent on your tennis. You get on the court, you put that cell phone away, you don't talk to anybody. When you get off the court, that's a different thing. But when you step on that court, I want to be focused just like a match. That's the only way you can really improve, is to be that intense.
Now, this is something Pat Rafter did extremely well. He's known as a great volleyer. It's because he gets so close to the net to play his volley. See how Kobe's very close? He's moving forward as they go to hit.
When do you know they're going to be a high performance player? And my answer is the very first day they walked into my centre. The very first day they walked into my centre, I treat them like they're going to be a Wimbledon winner. I do the things they have to do. Fun and learning things, not mutually exclusive. You've got to have lots of fun when you're young, but that doesn't mean you don't learn the things you need to learn to take you to the next level, to the next level, to the next level.
We do want to have a long-term vision of how we're developing as a player, but we need to have those process goals, those day-to-day goals that lead the way on that path for the outcome goals, for that long-term vision. You know, just a small example is you might be a top junior who's winning a lot with either a technique flaw or with a strategy flaw, but you're not wanting to change it because right now you're winning and you want to have the highest junior ranking, and you know, you want to be able to start your pro career from a high junior ranking. Well, that's not having a long-term outlook. You're sacrificing your long-term success for short-term success.
Being physical, super physical, it's another one thing that I love to bring on all my players. I feel like they can, you know, when I get them at a young age, like just about 13, 14, I feel like they're ready to be pushed. They want to be pushed. They don't know exactly what they have until they're actually pushed, you know, physically, mentally.
8, 9. Yeah! That's not 10, it's still 0.
The attitude is that, hey, if you can handle me, you know that the match is going to be easy. And lastly, just getting it, you know, from Uncle Tony, I would say just enduring, teaching them to endure everything. So if they don't like something, I give them more of it.
You want me to go harder? Was that too easy for you? Are you having a hard time breathing? Is that why you can't talk? Okay, let's go, 3 seconds.
I think as a coach, you have to understand your player. You have to understand what makes them tick, what they think about during a match, how they compete, all of this. And I feel like I'm pretty good at understanding a player. It's gotten a little bit easier as I've gotten older because I have a lot of experience to fall back on. You know, I've had a lot of arguments, different things, but then ultimately they know I'm telling them the truth because I'm trying to help them get best. And both Maria, Jessie, most of the girls I work with respond to that pretty well.
A really, really good coach fixes problems before they become big problems. The most experienced coaches can look at a player at 12, I think I can now, and I can go, that backhand is not going to hold up. So I can make adjustments and improvements now before it becomes a massive problem. My message to coaches is do not kill that passion. If you are passionate about high performance, the passion is what will make you a great coach. So get out there and start coaching.
So Coach Life to me is such a unique platform because we cover so many bases. We have world-class coaches, world-class nutritionists, world-class psychologists, footwork expert. I really recommend this to intermediate players, to current tour players, to coaches, but also to parents to really help support their kids and not put too much pressure on them.
At Coach Life, you can have a whole program with different insights and feedbacks from all kinds of coaches that train from top 1 players, top 10 players, a lot of coaches that had experience with them as juniors, older, and those coaches had different experiences that can add up so much to yours.
In this course, I want to show you all the shots I've taught Carlitos and how I taught them. Whether you're a player, parent, or coach, Coach Life is the place where you can learn how a player reaches the elite level, what their development stage is like, and what process they need to follow to get there.